Hello and welcome to That Guy's a Maniac, the podcast DS. We are a podcast about video games. My name is Richie, and with me is Farley, aka Kunzi11, who will say hello and tell you where you can find us on the internets.
Hello readers, you can find all of our written works at www.thatguys.co.uk, and we are occasionally found to be posting at That Guy's a Maniac on various millennial socials. Not the new ones.
Not the new ones.
That Guy's a Maniac. All lowercase, one word.
Brilliant. And this week we are in a return of an old format. The What Are You Playing? So what have we been playing? We're going to talk about it and we're going to say words.
But wait, because it's the DS season, we have to pull 2 letters from our bag.
Okay. Oh yeah, of course.
I remember.
Yeah.
So we randomly came up with loads of ideas for D words and loads of ideas for S words, because as you may or may not remember, readers, many Nintendo DS games had a subtitle with a D and an S in it. For example, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. So Richie, here's the bag of D's, the big bag of D's which you love so much.
We've done so well to ignore this so far.
Have a rummage, pull out a D.
Rummage in the bag of D's.
Oh, it looks like you got a good one. What is it?
It's Diablo.
Wow. And I'm going to pull an S. Scary.
Okay, so we have this week's episode titled Diablo Scary.
Diablo Scary. Richie, kick us off with Diablo.
Right. So, this'll date it for everyone, but Diablo 4 just came out, which means that this is clearly an archived episode of some kind that we put out because we couldn't be arsed doing a real episode. Diablo 4 is the 4th in the Diablo series. Farley, have you played any Diablo games?
Cutting edge gaming coverage. No, but I've watched multiple people play thousands of hours of Diablo 2.
Diablo 2. Okay. And did you ever play or experience Diablo 3 in any fashion?
No.
You just had to put up with me talking about it occasionally.
Yeah, just you talking about it every other week.
Yeah. Fair enough. Every other week. Well, Diablo 4 came out, and it is a massive...
Is that the 4th game in the Diablo series?
In the Diablo series, yeah. Well, actually, depends on your definition of 4th.
Is that, does Diablo have a Code Veronica? Is that what you're saying?
I think Diablo has some weird console thing that came out as well. Yeah, let's not go into the lineage too far. I regret saying the 4th in the series.
I'm looking it up because that's way more interesting than what you're going to say.
Oh my god. Yes, so Diablo 4 is the next game
in the Mary Kate and Ashley.
It has taken a lot of the elements of the original Diablos 1, 2 and 3, taking a spin on them, but they've made it basically an MMO as well. That being said, it is entirely single player. You'll just see other people, and occasionally you'll be like doing missions, saving some villagers, killing demon spawn, and people just turn up and help you out. You don't need the help, but people will turn up and help you. There are 5 classes. You ready for this, Farley? This is user interaction. 5 classes.
Yeah.
You got Barbarian.
Yeah. Wizard.
You've got Sorcerer or Sorceress. In fact, everybody is like, anybody can be either gender. So just keep that in mind.
Either gender. Wow.
Oh yeah. Either body type was what I meant to say.
Just the 2 genders.
Just the 2 genders. They can be either body type. And
just to be clear, the 2 genders are magic user and swordman.
Yeah, exactly. Do you identify with axes or do you identify with wands?
Fine.
Okay. So the classes are Barbarian.
Yeah.
Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Necromancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rogue and Druid. Now,
Pretty classic.
yeah, yeah.
lineup.
But basically, the question on all our readers' lips is what class would Farley choose?
Who's the ranged? None of those sound ranged.
So the
Mage.
Necromancer, Mage, and the Rogue can be, or the Sorcerer can be ranged.
Just a bit disappointed there isn't just a ranger.
Well, I mean, you have the option to go down the bow route with the Rogue if you wanted to.
Does the Necromancer have a bow?
No. I think he can if he really wants. Or she.
That's
They.
really axe wielder or swordman.
Yeah.
That's really disappointing.
What's really disappointing?
That you have to choose rogue if you wanted to go arrow person.
Why?
Rogue, I think we may have discussed this before on the podcast.
Okay.
Rogue is one of the worst classes of anything, in anything.
Why is that?
I just can't stand it.
Alright, so it's a personal preference.
yeah, it's a person. There's something about. I think it's just the word rogue. I think it's because I first came across the word rogue in the X-Men animated TV series. No, also only dicks play rogues.
Only dicks play rogues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, that's not only dicks play rogues, but in like tabletop role-playing games. If
you want to play an arsehole, you play a rogue.
Yeah. If somebody's an arsehole, or if somebody's min-maxing, or if GMs are complaining about a problematic player, 95% of the time, it's someone dicking around with the rogue class.
Yeah. I think, like they always have that easy leanings because they've got the skills to be dicks. Like they've got stealth. Whenever you've got stealth, you just know that you're going to do something that you're not meant to do because you can get away with it and be invisible and fuck someone off.
Yeah, see, and I think that's my other issue with Diablo's. You can't really be stealthy and be particularly in like Diablo like games.
Yeah.
When you're firing 4,000 arrows. Well, by the end of the game, you're firing 4,000 arrows a second. It's not especially stealthy, is it?
Well, I mean, what you're talking about here is like there is actually a lot of customization you can go down with the skill trees for each one of the classes. So despite...
Is one of the skill trees to become not a rogue?
You will still be called the name Rogue, but you...
I'm out.
But no, but...
I'm out.
So, for instance, the meta class builds, they get names. So you get, like, a Necromancer that goes down the tree where they pick up a lot of blood skills, like the Bloodmancer, you know, or... exactly, it's not exactly exciting, but you would definitely... Yeah, exactly. And you would probably just have Archer as the option for the rogue who uses the ranged trees. So like you can get around it with your own headcanon if you want. Yeah. I just
don't want any characters to see me during my rogue phase.
Go then stealth during your rogue era.
During my rogue era, and then come out as an archer at level 13 or whatever.
But yeah, the skill tree is actually really, really amazing and quite intuitive. I really enjoy it because you can change it a little bit on the fly as well, which I've only done a few times because I'm really happy with the build I've chosen so far. But there's no punishment if you fuck up. You know, there is, alright, I'll just have to spend like 10 gold to unlearn this talent. That's fine. Happy days, move on. So gold as a currency in the game is actually just spent on your talent tree and shifting it around and changing things. And And with the Necromancer, there's a lot of fun to be had with buffing up your skeletons. You actually get a second skill tree, which is called the Book of the Dead, which is good fun if you're into that class leaning of like emo-ness and stuff like that. Wherein you're able to sort of select your skeleton's different skills, so you can make them more shield or identify with axes. Or indeed, you get your magey skeletons to shoot shadow bolts or ice bolts or whatever else you want to do. And you get to mix them up. And you even get the option to say, nah, I don't want these. I want to get the buff that they offer. So you can like sacrifice ever being able to bring up skeletons and then just get a buff to make yourself even better. So it is really, really fun to sort of play into that. And it just means that the playstyle is a bit more fun and it evolves as you go through it, and you don't need to stick to a cookie cutter build really too much, especially not on your first playthrough.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so what are you maining, or what did you main as your first playthrough?
I mean, I think you can guess from what I was saying. I went straight for the Necromancer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because normally you go for mages.
Yeah, like, do I?
I'd say when you read out the list, it's like definitely not druid for the first playthrough. I don't really see you as a barbarian guy. It's too obvious.
Too macho. Too alpha, Richie. It's too alpha.
Yeah. Too alpha for you. And then what were the other ones? Rogue, Necromancer.
Druid. You never said anything about me being a rogue.
He's a dick class.
I did actually pick up the rogue when I played the open beta.
Oh yeah.
To just sort of play about with it because I fancied like doing the dual dagger build.
Yeah.
Didn't enjoy it that much. There was a lot of leaping about and like bleh.
Yeah.
I much prefer having an army of the dead to sort of command and carry around, and yeah, that was my choice. I might because there's a lot of benefit to creating alts as well. So as you proceed through the game, you unlock sort of things which carry over to other characters.
Oh, nice.
So you unlock more strength, or you unlock more magic, or you unlock certain new abilities. So they have this new system in. You used to get legendaries that would drop. Now you get aspects, which are basically a legendary cool effect that gets added to it. But you can put these aspects on any item. So it's rather than having to wait on an item that you want to drop, you can just put that aspect on a nice item that you like, and you have that power and ability.
It's like a gem.
Yeah.
Gem system.
But you unlock them by doing dungeons. And you can unlock them for every class as well. So you can go in, start your barbarian class, and you already have like this cool thing that does something with whirlwind or whatever with axes. But yeah, that I think what they've done is they've really, really sort of improved and moved on into a new game, away from Diablo 3, which was a bit more very loop orientated. I haven't reached endgame, so again, the game is not even officially out until tomorrow, but I got the what's the word I'm looking for?
Pre-release? Preload?
Pre-release, yeah.
Primo?
Pre-release. So I've been playing it for the past week, and it's great, but I don't know what endgame will be like. Maybe it is very, very loop orientated. Who knows? We'll see.
Dare I ask, because it is a Blizzard game and you're playing it at launch.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Is it working?
Oh yeah, like I've had very few bugs, as a couple of rubber banding issues, but nothing that's been game breaking.
Nice.
Yeah. They've already done the first patch release, which was oh god, it was some class balancing, but according to the Reddit nerds, been nerfed to the ground, nerfed. You know, class balance. That's all. So yeah, some meta cookie cutter builds. The game's only been out a week, but the cookie cutters
already the meta's been ruined.
Yeah.
By Blizzard.
Yeah. So people are just like, oh no, my class that I was maining for 3 days has been nerfed to the ground.
No, we've not really talked about it, and maybe now's not the time to talk about it. But I do have an issue with games which are continuously updated.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't mind ones which are tweaked every now and then, and there's like a finite set of them. But what was I thinking about this? Pokemon Unite in particular, where because they keep adding characters in, and I'm sure it's the same with many MOBAs. Every update, there's tweaks, and I do find that frustrating.
Yeah.
Because basically, you can't really gravitate to playing a particular suite of characters because update by update they completely change.
It's. I'm going to use World of Warcraft as an example here as well. Like, obviously with the classic coming out, or the classic versions of the games a few years ago, what they've done is they chose the final patch from that game. The vanilla base pack, they just chose patch 1.12 and they built everything up from that.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of shit happened between patch 1.01 and 1.12.
Yeah.
There was massive sweeping changes where, paladins were suddenly on top, and then they were nerfed to the ground. And then
to ash.
Yeah.
Nerfed to dust and ash.
And they did exactly the same in TBC, where Warlocks got some of the final changes as well, and same with Mages. Mages wouldn't have been on top in TBC if it wasn't for being in the final patch. And then again, Death Knights for Wrath of the Lich King, they had so much done to them, and the final version that we got is just like, I don't even remember playing this version of Death Knight, because actually it followed a chronology. So the game is coming out in phases, with each one of the raid tiers coming out like every few months. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In actuality, back in the day, like, the classes that were doing those raid tiers were vastly different. They weren't playing it with 2.5.3 talents. They were playing it with 2.0 talents.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a real shift and a change. And so a lot of people said that TBC and Classic in particular were very, very easy because they were using the final, most balanced patches. But yeah, listen, I don't want to talk about World of Warcraft. I've already talked about it far too much. Diablo 4 came out. It's great. I'm going to keep playing it. I'm enjoying it. Are you ever going to pick it up, Farley?
No. Did you ever play Diablo Immortal?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I may have even talked about it on the show.
Okay. I guess that would be a contender for the true Diablo 4, right?
Yeah, the mobile and PC version, it felt very, very much like a mobile game. Like, there was too many currencies, and I just had to stop.
How many Diablos would you give Diablo 4 out of 4?
I'm going to give it 4 Diablos out of 4.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Until your favourite class gets nerfed.
To the ground. Alright, okay, I'll shut up. What are you playing, Farley?
I'm playing a very niche game from Japan called Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah, which I finally picked up. I had a bit of extra cash splashing around, so I thought, do you know what? Now's the time to pick up some Stone Cold classics. And Super Mario Odyssey was one of the ones which I just hadn't played. I'd admired it from a distance. Most people said it's a very good game.
Yes.
So yeah, I decided to pick it, including you many times.
Yeah, some of the readers might have actually remembered I talked about this on one of our What Are You Playings.
Yeah. It's a very good game. Somebody should have said. I didn't hear that.
So, what is your favourite new ability of Mario in this iteration?
I don't really know. I think the hack mechanics are okay. I think I'm just at New Donk City, and I've been playing it kind of. I'll try and get everything in this world, all the moons in this world,
right? Okay.
Before moving on. But of course, it limits the number you can get, so you have to come back. I've noticed there are these like indestructible meteorite blocks which you have to come back for, and then you find that there are other moons that you have to teleport from other worlds to get. So trying to kind of do it as comprehensively as possible. So I think I've done like the first 4 or 5 worlds. So yeah, the hat mechanic hasn't really come into play. I don't know. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't feel like as solid as power ups. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The original Super Mario Brothers. When you had
a fire flower. Yeah.
Then that was kind of like a game changer, and then you make sure you go into a level with whatever and try and keep hold of it as long as possible. In Galaxy and Galaxy 2, they made all the powers temporary, if you remember.
Yeah. Oh, they did it in 64 as well.
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. And in this one, it feels even more kind of ephemeral. So you're using it all the time.
It's just an extension of Mario, which is quite cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite cool. Yeah, it's just super polished. It's just a real joy to play. Like other Mario games, it teaches you how to play it as you go along. But then also for some of the more cryptic moons, or you can use, there's like an amiibo system, or you can buy hints, and so you kind of have this thing on your map, like how on earth do I get to that? Is that in the ground? Is that up in the air? Do I find this hidden route? And then it also has some brutal elements to it. So in the desert land with the pyramids and whatever, I don't know if you remember, there's a bit where you are essentially running on those Aztec dogs.
No, wait a minute. Yeah.
And there's one bit where you go into like a dungeon. I guess it's a dungeon, a Mario dungeon. And you're riding on these dogs which have really heavy inertia, so they're quite hard to steer, and they start to go very fast. And you're just on a world of poison.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
And there's like 2 moons which are doable. You can see what you have to do. It's just executing it. Which is the bit. So yeah, there's some, and there were when I played Galaxy, there were some bits that were like that. So yeah, I'm just really, really enjoying it. Yeah, it's a really good game. Interesting to see what the later levels are like. The level design is really tight. I mean, yeah, how do you review a 10-year-old Mario game?
It's not 10 years old.
No.
It's
a joy to play.
It is. Like, if you have a Switch, you should own Mario Odyssey. I kind of feel that is a necessity for the system. I didn't go anywhere near as deep as you. Like, I saw the moons. I saw them as a weird collectible mechanic, and it's just like, you know what? If I love the game, I'll come back to it. And I didn't, so I just kind of left the moons. They are fun challenges, but I've got many other games to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like the because it's a fairly early Switch game, right?
Yeah. I think it's one of the launch titles, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really like some of the early Wii titles, and even some of the Wii U titles. They were clearly playing with lots of the features that you had. So there's that bit where occasionally you'll come across a image that shows you how to get a moon somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it, encourages you to take a screenshot. So yeah, all these like, hey, look, we have these features on the Switch, which obviously many later games just kind of ignore.
Yeah.
But I'll probably play it as I tend to play a lot of Mario games, which is play it a lot for a bit, then leave it for 3 to 4 years, and then come back and be like, why did I ever put this down? And then, play all the way through it, 100%.
Yeah, nice. No, when I played it, I knew. I think it was actually over a Christmas period, so it was just kind of my, way of keeping myself entertained. And yeah, I just flew through, tried to get from start to finish in the plot, get through all of the worlds, defeat final Bowser, spoilers, and yeah, just run through it. But it was great fun. Like you say, a joy. Because you have to play those kind of platformy levely things, and you have to learn some of the skills and how to use the hat, and then it was fun. Good fun game.
It's just like a string of micro puzzles, right? So when you first encounter a stack of Goombas walking around, and nearby there will be a moon that's really high, so you can just about see it. Okay. Goomba stack, moons. I throw my hat at the Goomba stack. Oh, now I'm a Goomba stack. Oh, I'm not quite big enough, so I can't, you try jumping and popping out of the Goomba stack, but you're not quite high enough. And then there's a couple of normal Goombas walking around like, oh, I wonder if I can, and then you jump on those, like, oh, now I can stack the Goomba. Yeah, and it's just loads of mini puzzles like that, which make it really satisfying. When you kind of crack it to solve. It's not particularly, it's not especially challenging, I think, for the most part. So you can
it's very abstract, yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of blast through it. And all the nods to the older games and the older characters are brilliant. Like, when you go into the pixel sections, those are fun. The big festival celebration thing you do in New Donk City is brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Enjoying.
So how many mist moons would you give it out of 10?
I'd probably give it 9 mist moons out of 10.
9 mist moons out of 10.
I like what do we think about the dolly aspect?
Dolly aspect. Oh, the amiibo.
No, you can dress up Mario. You can buy clothes for him.
Oh, right. Yeah, like, I think I got one outfit that I liked. There were so many shit ones.
Was it the Love Hearts boxer shorts?
It was not, no.
Oh.
I didn't find it, like, running about like the Ghouls and Ghosts guy. I can't remember what outfit it was, but I think I ended up just going classic. I was just like, you know what? I don't like any of these outfits. They don't reflect what this man is doing.
There are a bunch of really bad, like the default ones you can buy from the hat shop are bad. But it does have some amiibo. Yeah, so I tapped. I've got like the Pixel Mario amiibo.
Yeah.
And it unlocks like a classic palette Mario outfit, which I've been wearing a lot.
But like the biggest cheese in that game, I don't know if you're fully aware, Peach just gives you all your life back.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Such a cheese. It's like, oh dear, I'm not doing too well in the game. Ah well. Tap Peach on. Oh, brilliant. There we go. Full life. Great. Let's continue on.
There's not too much of advantage. You never lose a huge amount of progress, even if you do run out of parts.
I know, but it's like in the middle of a boss fight or something. Oh shit, Bowser's got me. Alright, okay. I think it's got like a 5-minute cooldown or something like that.
Right, okay, that's not very long at all, is it?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very cheesy.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
Super Mario Odyssey. Recommend.
Great.
Are we in the middle of the podcast yet?
I don't think we're on break time. I've got one more from me.
Okay. What are you playing?
Well, very, very quick one, and actually weirdly related.
Ooh.
I was playing One Piece Odyssey.
Okay. It's not related in a way that
Well,
I'm interested.
Right, the word Odyssey.
Give me the lowdown. What kind of game is it?
So I'm actually going to give you a precursor to this. Okay. So this is a Steam game. I had recently sort of run out of games that I was playing, and I had I've been recently watching and catching up with One Piece, and I got to a point where it's like, oh, I can now play Odyssey, One Piece Odyssey, without any spoilers.
Okay, because you're now
great.
700 episodes in.
880. And I thought, all right, okay, cool, I'll give this a go. I quite fancy. It'll be like an action RPG or something like that.
Yeah.
I bought it. It was far too expensive for what it was as well.
When did it come out?
I think it came out 2019.
Okay.
So, or maybe actually a bit later. Yeah, I launched it and I was like, right, okay, what is this game? I don't know enough about it, but considering it's an anime and fighting, I thought it would be quite action based. It was not.
It came out this year.
It came out this year.
Yeah.
What date?
January.
January. Okay. It feels like a lot longer then.
It's been a long year.
Yeah, that'll be why it was full price then.
You were basically playing it on launch.
No, not really. But yeah. Anyway, I was playing it, and it's basically a turn-based RPG, which does not translate very well to the characters' moves. It has an overworld, which was clunky to navigate, and by clunky, I was kind of like, I just want to run about and move and turn the camera, and it wasn't easy to do. The camera was sort of set behind you, and I mean, it wasn't set, but it was very annoying. And then you had to press buttons to actually like make him swing. You know, like he's got big stretchy arms, and it's just like I should have a button just to be able to swing, not actually have an activated yellow sphere that I have to say, all right, press A now. I'm like, oh, this is shit. And I was very, very disappointed with how the overworld was. And then I started doing a couple of fights, and the turn-based just did not work for me at all. Like, you've got these big epic, obviously it's an anime, so they call out their moves. I know them all because I've been watching the thing, and it just felt really, really flat for me. And yeah, I'm a little bit saddened by that, I'll be honest with you. To the point where I was like, you know what, I'm 2 and a bit hours into this game and I'm hating it already. So I got a refund. One of the first games I've actually just refunded on Steam
And you have played some shit games.
I have played a lot of shit games, but like it wasn't worth the money that I paid right then, and it certainly wasn't the game that I expected it to be either. And it's sold to you in a way that it is exciting and it is action packed. It's not. It's quite. I don't know. It felt like a Fisher Price clunky toy. It was not to my liking. It was Namco Bandai as well. I love Namco Bandai. Yeah.
Yeah, the developers Ilka as well, and they were behind Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
Well, yeah, I mean, there you go. Like turn-based. I mean, that's fine, but I don't think that translates well to the character or the story at all. You need a bit of high pressure. I don't know. Like it just wasn't my thing. And it was annoying because I really wanted to buy into a One Piece game and enjoy it.
You just had a hankering for a bit of anime. Get your anime game fixed.
Yes, which I got elsewhere.
Oh yeah.
Spoilers.
Is that a story for another half of the podcast?
Another half of the podcast.
See, I know nothing about One Piece. I missed the One Piece boat.
That works in 2 levels.
Does it?
Yeah, because the pirates, they have a boat.
I didn't even know that. That's how little I know about One Piece. But obviously it's very popular and you see it everywhere. And I've recently been in Japan and it's everywhere. One of my main issues with it is whenever anyone says One Piece, I just think of that Burnerstown sketch where they're using the rowing machines and calling each other arse piece.
Arse piece.
Arse piece. Are you looking at me, arse piece? Arse piece.
Arse piece. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think most people hear One Piece and they think, is it like an anime about bikinis? You know, and they wouldn't be wrong to assume that because I'm sure there is actual animes dedicated to bikinis.
Yeah, I saw a couple of. What's anime, isn't it?
Anime.
Yeah. So how many arse pieces?
I'm not even gonna rate it. Sorry, I'm gonna flat out refuse to rate it. Yeah.
There's no rating.
Yeah.
This is really gonna mess up the That Guy's a Maniac Wikipedia page on all the reviews that we've done.
Hey, listen, it can be like a little addendum.
Someone's going to have to create a whole separate sub-page for games which were not given a score.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Good luck to them.
But yeah, blame if you have an issue with it. Write in a letter to Bandai Namco or Ilka.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is it, Varley.
Break time.
Break time.
Break time.
Break time. Welcome to the middle of the podcast. Yay! In this section, we ask each other trivia questions from the best-selling Ultimate Video Game Trivia. Are you ready for your first question?
Yes.
I have a feeling I've asked you this before, so please tell me if I have.
No, I just want to get it right.
But what name is the serial killer known in Heavy Rain?
Oh, I think you have asked me that, and I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna change the card. Thanks for your honesty. But for reference, again, probably was the Origami Killer.
Yes, you have asked that. Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. Hopefully I've pulled it from the right end. What is the name of the main antagonist? Oh fuck, I think. And final boss of Altered Beast. No,
you haven't asked that.
have I not?
No.
Okay, what is the name of the main antagonist and final boss of... I'm sure I have because we said, has anyone ever got to the end of Altered Beast?
That does ring a bell as well.
Oh my god. Right.
Create a system. Like.
Well, I just pulled from both ends of the pack.
Okay, so.
Okay, this is perfect. Are you ready?
Right, final. Third time lucky. Go for it.
Arc System Works developed which 2018 fighting video game based on the Dragon Ball franchise?
The Dragon Ball Z fighter?
No.
Oh, was it Kakarot?
No. It's Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Oh God. Yes.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z Fighter.
I mean, it probably is another game, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's. It's only the 19th in the series. It's not even. I guarantee there's like hundreds more.
More if you include the Pachinko arcade and
Yeah.
Dance Revolution versions. Okay.
Okay, right. You ready?
Yes.
What? No, sorry. Now developed by Red Links,
Yeah.
which motorcycle platformer series began as a popular free internet browser game in 2000?
I'm going to say the only recent bike game I know. Is it Trials?
It is.
Hey.
Excellent.
Do you remember when there used to be a whole stack of motorbike, off-road, ATV games? There's this whole genre for a while.
Yeah, the Extreme Sports and PlayStation 2 went together like, I don't know, Linkin Park and emo haircuts, man. It was the thing.
Yeah, monster trucks, all of that shit.
Yeah.
And these days it's only Trials.
I'm sure there's plenty more.
I'm sure there's plenty more.
They just don't have a as big a platform to be seen. There's probably like there's. I own at least 2 snowboarding games that are specifically about filming and going down on the slopes and creating an extreme. Yeah.
One of them's got a very cool name, isn't it? What's it called? Like Drop? Snowdrop?
Steep.
Even better than
Snowdrop.
Snowdrop?
Snowdrop as in the early flowering February flower.
Yeah, but I was thinking more dropping out of a helicopter and doing those films.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Bring it.
This card is embarrassingly easy. In which game did Pyramid Head make his debut?
It was Silent Hill 2.
It was Silent Hill 2. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
For which console did Namco release the original Gun-Con peripheral bundled with copies of Time Crisis?
Oh, I have a Gun-Con to hand.
And what platform was it on?
That's difficult. In my mind, I think it was PlayStation 2, but I have a distinct memory of playing it on PlayStation. I'm going to say PlayStation.
It is PlayStation.
Hey!
Sony PlayStation.
Sony PSX. Well, that's very good.
Cool. Nice.
It's the end of break time.
Yeah, it very, very much is. And a return to what you have been playing. So, Farley, what have you been playing?
Well, in my mission to pick up some classics that I overlooked, I have started playing Resident Evil Village.
Yes. And you told us about this the last episode.
Oh, did I? I should really keep better notes. Anyway, my progress since last time.
Okay, brilliant. Have you got out of the cupboard with the scary baby?
No, I can't get out of the scary baby room.
Okay.
It's too scary. I know what I have to do. Right. Basically, you have to take some damage from it. It's a huge object, so you have to, glitch your way past it. But there's just something about the melting face and the baby crying noise that just makes it impossible to do.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very nice.
No, I'm just stuck in this cupboard.
I like to think
kind of role-playing game.
I mean, you're literally, and no, you're metaphorically stuck in that cupboard as you speak.
Yeah, I am. The cupboard. The cupboard was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
The cupboard was the One Piece.
All along.
All along. So yeah, that's it really.
Cool.
Resident Evil Village. Still in the cupboard.
Great. Well, that's a solid bit of progress. How many staying in the cupboards would you give it out of 7?
Maximum. Whatever the score range is.
7 staying in the cupboards.
Maximum.
Scared of the scary babies.
Maximum staying in the cupboard. Out of staying in the cupboard.
Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to get to play Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Because you can't get out of the cupboard.
It's like I can't get out of the cupboard. That's it. I just don't know what happens. That's where, canonically, that's where Ethan's story ends in my playthrough.
Yeah. It's also like a metaphor, like you just staying in the closet.
Oh,
Did I have to go there?
I might. It's so obvious.
I know, yeah.
I mean, even with my low expectations for you, I was surprised.
My low expectations. Okay.
Expectations are low, and there you go. Stucking beneath them. Limbo dancing beneath my low expectations for you. I might write a fan fiction.
Alright. Okay.
About Resident Evil Village. Where essentially I just rewrite. It's much like S.D. Perry, who wrote the novels, the Resident Evil novels. We just basically rewrite the game. I'll do that, but then I'll end it with, and then I was stuck in the cupboard.
Yeah, and it just stops there.
Yeah, as an art piece.
Blank pages after it as well.
Masterpiece. Yeah. I'd calculate how many pages I would need to actually finish the game.
Yeah.
And then just finish it there. Okay, so I'll be doing that. I'll be working on my art project.
Cool. That's quite it's good for the soul. Good for the soul.
Yes. What have you been playing?
So, after the One Piece Odyssey debacle, I was like, this is annoying. I want a game that I can just play. I want to be able to action RPG and enjoy and play.
Yeah.
And well, Spider-Man Remastered was on sale. And I picked it up. And I'm going to just say like a few things here.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you think that game is exactly what that game is, and that is comforting. What do you think that game is, Farley?
Is it the big open world one?
Yeah.
Is it swinging about skyscrapers in New York?
Yeah.
Is it shooting like web pancakes in people's faces?
Yeah.
Is it making hilarious quips as you solve petty and major crimes?
Yeah.
Is it fighting a cast of Spider-Man rogues?
Yeah, there's a lot of Spider-Man rogues turning up. Yeah.
Are there collectibles spread around the city?
Yes.
Can you change Spider-Man's costume?
Yes. And to all of them, including Bagman.
I love Bagman. Well, that's what I'd expect, really.
Yeah, and there's, as I said, there's just so much comfort to be taken in that is all that game is.
Yeah.
It's all you want it to be.
Yeah.
And it's playable, it's enjoyable. The swinging through New York City, and it's huge. Swinging through, it feels nice. You fly up there, you get power-ups and collectibles to sort of do different like things in the fights, so you can like set out a proximity bomb, and you can actually stealth stuff as well, kind of like the Batman Arkham series. So you can,
I was gonna ask.
yeah, so you can like stealth take people out. I even change my costume into Spider-Man Noir whenever I do any stealth missions.
Nice.
Because I can RP that shit, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game is solid. The combat is fun. The world is amazing. Dialogue's okay. I mean, you've got JJJ. He has a sort of little radio show that tunes in every so often. So as you're swinging through the city, you get like 30-40 seconds of his podcast radio show playing, and it's usually talking about something contextually that has just happened in the plot or you have done, it's just like,
love it when they do that.
Yeah, Spider-Man's just been spotted off a crane, and you're like, I was just on a crane,
I'm Spider-Man. I was just on a crane.
Yeah, this is really good. But it's there's not much more I can say. Your expectations of what that game is exactly what it is. GTA style.
I can't believe we're belatedly reviewing two of the most highly related games in the game.
yeah, exactly.
But you said, and so I haven't followed. I remember this coming out, it being making a big deal. Is there a new one on the way?
So I don't know the chronology. Mm-hmm. So this has only just come to the PC like 6 months ago, probably around the same time as One Piece Odyssey. There is a Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's the same guys, and it's now out on PC. I don't know the chronology of when this was on PS5. Okay. I do remember some spiel about it being called remastered because they had to change the actor in some fashion.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe he did something that deserved to get cancelled or something like that.
Probably did it bad.
Yeah.
That was going to be my question. What is the remaster aspect of it?
Honestly, no idea. I liked the idea of a Spider-Man game, played it. I have not looked into it in any depth other. But I mean, this is why I end up having to return games, because I just don't look into them. But with this one, it was a safe bet.
It was a safe bet.
Yeah.
Now, with your premise of what would you imagine this game is? I was trying to think of what would be a hilarious, surprise Spider-Man game. But every example I could think of, I was like, I would like to play that. It's like, is it a visual novel? But I thought, a Spider-Man visual novel would be quite good, actually.
Yeah.
Is it a tactical RPG? I guess doesn't really fit Spider-Man.
Not really, unless you were doing some multiverse Spider-Man and you had different Spider-Man units that you could use.
Spider tanks.
Yeah, or just ones with different abilities. And you do have a spider tank. You've got the anime Spider Girl thing.
Oh yeah, you could do, like that Capcom gacha game you like. You could do Spider-Man gacha, but it's just Spider-Man.
Spider-Man would fit in so easily into that Project Cross Zone.
You nearly said gacha game.
I hate you.
Project Cross Spider.
Yeah. What other genres?
Football game?
Again, like if Spider-Man was in a football game, that would be fun.
It would. It'd be like Rocket League. Or that really good James Bond game where you could grapple hook around, and that just became. Do you remember this?
It was the one after.
It was Randy McSporran, our mutual friend, randomly brought when they were releasing James Bond games, and they're making a big deal out of. This is like the first original James Bond game that's not based on a movie. And a lot of them were 7 out of 10. Good story, but weak multiplayer. And then one of those, I can't remember which one it was. In game, you've got this grapple hook, but you can only use it at context. Here's the grapple hook context vent that you use it on. But in the multiplayer maps, you could use it anywhere. and we got so good that we were just Spider-Man swinging around and shooting.
Brilliant.
It was brilliant.
Brilliant.
It was so good. But I forget the name of it. Firefall, Free Fire, Snowdrop.
Freefall.
James Bond Snowdrop.
James Bond Snowdrop. Yeah.
So yeah, football game with Spider-Man would be great.
He's in blooming skateboarding games.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
What about like a Metroidvania?
Yeah, absolutely. Like his skills would so easily translate to a decent Metroidvania. Yeah, like just flip.
Yeah.
You got crawling along the top. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Spider-Man games are a safe bet.
Yeah, just make everything Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Cool. Well, yeah. Spider-Man's great. I'm gonna give it. Ask me.
How many multiverses out of 13 are you gonna give it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 12 out of 13 multiverses. Yeah.
Do you reckon you'll stick with it through to the end, or just?
Oh yeah, definitely through to the end.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'm already like 60% through the game because it's got a wonderful percentage meter, which includes getting all of the collectibles as well. And it's fun getting the collectibles.
Like a Lego game bullshit meter. It's like, oh, you're 60% of the way through. The story is 50%, and then every single one of those fucking collectibles is 1%.
So the collectibles are fun. Like, so just so we're clear, I usually hate collectibles, and in fact, I have dodged getting the collectibles in other games. But this one is like, do this, and you get a cool challenge. So like, they've got this. One of the ones I had to do was you weren't allowed to fall below a certain level, and you weren't allowed to go above a certain level. So you had to spider swing sort of through the rooftops and off of helicopters to get to a certain area very, very quickly. So it's fun little challenges like that, and like that kept me going. And there's no they tell you where they are on the map. They don't give you any sort of like you have to find it or some sort of bullshit. It's just like, here, go there, you can do this. Also, as a little bonus, you can now fast travel to this area. I'm like, oh, cool. Like that unlocked well after, it's just like I was doing those little research challenges and stuff like that, like, oh, this is fun, and then it came back like, oh, by the way, you can just now fast travel to here if you wanted to, which you never really do because you want to just swing through the city.
Yeah, of course.
And like you get little bonuses and XP bonuses as well for like just being Spider-Man. So like swung, I occasionally just get a medal, swung off of 500 buildings, or
nice.
200 kilometers ran by free running up buildings and stuff like that. And you're just like, this is cool. Like I'm getting challenges just for existing. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. So yeah, I like that, and I'll look into what the deal was with the chronology, and I might pick up the Miles Morales one as well. But there's also, because it's Spider-Man Remastered, it also included 3 DLCs as well. So even when I complete the game, I've got Black Cat heists as well. So I've got something more even when I get there.
I like that. I like that aspect of picking up games a little bit after they've come out. Is they just bundle all the DLC and like,
yeah, and it was just a very, very pleasant surprise. And I think that's the bonus of like, because I don't have a PS5, they're bringing these PlayStation games over, such as Final Fantasy Intergrade and stuff like that. That was just sort of included with the Final Fantasy remake.
It's like the Switch of PC gaming.
Yeah. Anyway, cool. What have you been playing?
Well, my last thing that I've been playing is recently Pokemon Home compatibility.
Oh god, yes. I got this notification. I thought, all right, okay. Well, that's your
Yeah.
project.
So for those of you readers who don't know, because this is the first episode you're listening to, Pokemon Home is an app. It's a mobile app and it's also a Switch app, and they're frustratingly not the same thing, but they kind of are. And it's basically your no frills storage system, and recently it's become like a stock exchange of shifting Pokemon. I always think of it as like trafficking Pokemon across borders from one game to another. And most recently, the newest game in the series, Scarlet and Violet, was given home compatibility, which has, for me, breathed new life not only into Scarlet and Violet, because I can bring some of my older guys through and do all the shit in Scarlet and Violet, but also, interestingly, unlike every other time before, you can move your guys from Scarlet and Violet into the older Switch games. So, for example, I got a special 25th anniversary Pikachu in Scarlet and Violet, 25th anniversary of Pokemon Center, I think, and now I can move him back into Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Legends Arceus, Sword and Shield to get ribbons, to fiddle around with the EVs and IVs, etc. So because I hadn't touched Scarlet and Violet for a long time, I was just logging in to do the events, the rotating 7-star events, which has been a huge problem with recently. So they've kind of pulled them with some issue that seems to be really bad, but not really enjoying it. But now I can bring up my Pokemon, that some of which have been, I caught in Fire Red, or Sapphire.
Yeah.
And see them and explore the world of Scarlet and Violet and do all the various challenges. So yeah, it's been great. And like I say, so now I can, catch a Scyther in Scarlet and Violet. In Legends Arceus, and then get it all the ribbons in the old games, and then move it up to Scarlet and Violet and evolve it into Cleavor. And you can be running around with a Cleavor, a Scyther, and a Scizor if you wanted to. So that's really cool.
And what are your highlights that you're really, really looking forward to seeing in the game?
So I have a spreadsheet.
Oh god.
Yeah, huge spreadsheet about the ribbons. The ribbons are different things you can get in games. So most of the Pokemon games, if you have the Pokemon on your team when you beat the region's champion, you'll get a ribbon. If you do contests, there's like 7 contest ribbons you can get. There's more, there's like 50 contest ribbons you can get. Sometimes if you get like a special, if there's a special giveaway, either through the internet, or you go to like a game shop, or you go to a Pokemon Center, that will have like a special ribbon on it. But because of the different compatibilities with the games, it's not straightforward as, it's not that every Pokemon can get every ribbon. So I've had to compile this spreadsheet with, lots of formulas calculating, here's how many ribbons which are theoretically possible, here's how many that it has, and then some of those you can only get at certain days. There's like daily ribbons you can get in BDSP. Some of them cost a lot of money, like the gorgeous royal ribbon is 99999, which is almost impossible to get. Some you get from competitions. In order to do well in the competitions, you need to make poffins, and poffins are made from berries, and berries grow daily, and there are certain ways of getting certain berries. So I've been doing all of that to get them. And then in Scarlet and Violet, they introduced a couple of new things, like earnable marks you can get, but also there's some cool size ones. So if you caught a particularly small Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, or Pokemon Go, or if you bring one from an old game, it kind of randomly assigns it. You can get like a jumbo or a teeny mark. If you, the very cool one is if you took a photo with it in Pokemon Legends Arceus, that gives you a ribbon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then you can choose that ribbon, and then so when you throw your Jigglypuff out or whatever, it will say Jigglypuff the Living Legend, or Jigglypuff the Gorgeous, or Jigglypuff the 100 victories in a row.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. So,
Finally, a use for the ribbons.
Yeah. So coming up with you know, like some of the rarer ones, because there are some ribbons you can only get from the GameCube game.
Oh god.
Yeah, Colosseum or XD, for example. There's one ribbon that you can only get on certain Pokemon from there. That's been it. And then my other revelation has been that if you don't use the bike Pokemon in that game,
Yeah.
it's a much better game. So I've kind of been partially like role playing it, I guess. Yeah, and I think that's kind of how the game. It seems to be that you get way more out of the game walking from place to place than just either fast traveling or just bombing around on the the bike.
Yeah.
Which can
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a particularly annoying mark to get, which I don't think the internet's not really solved how you get it. But essentially, they say that it's called the partner mark, and every Pokemon can earn it in Scarlet and Violet. And the current wisdom is that if you have a certain amount of happiness, not max happiness, and happiness is another secret value that increases when you give them berries and whatever. Every time you take 1,000 steps, I think, with a Pokemon with a certain number of happiness or higher, there's like a 1% chance that it will earn this mark called the partner mark. But
Right.
I think there's another aspect to it, because some of these, when I was first playing Scarlet and Violet, this mark would appear. I was like, oh, this is weird. Why have I got this mark? And then playing around with it, there was somebody I barely ever used that just brought out for the occasional raid, which earned it really quickly. And then there's Pokemon I've had since, essentially my starter, which still hasn't earned it. But in order to do it, in order to I need to be walking around a lot in order for my Team of 6 to do it. So I thought I'll abandon the bike and then, kind of play it manually. So like, okay, oh look, there's an outbreak there, or there's a particular raid here, or there's an event raid here, and then kind of walking using the roads, and then climbing up onto a hill to see the best route to get to. Where you're trying to go has been much more fun and engaging than before. I think just bombing around and not really making the most of this vast area.
I agree with you. Like, those early stages of Scarlet and Violet, where I was going to places and like I'd missed and deliberately accidentally gone in the wrong places, and I didn't have the dragon guy. I remember seeing you online and you were like bouncing up and down and like, all right, I can't do that. But I was doing stuff like I was trying to get into like the Lake of Fury or whatever it was up in the top corner without actually having the ability to get in there.
Yeah.
So it that just becomes play, and that's fun, Yeah.
Yeah, but there's so many. It's really weird. It's like all of a sudden the geography makes sense, and it's really complex, in the way it's kind of laid out and really, really thought through. So there's really long, winding paths where if you think about Spider-Man, if you can just say, "Oh, I need to go in this direction," and if it's there's not a convenient fast travel point, I'll just go straight as the crow flies because I can zoom, climb vertical walls, and fly. Whereas if you're not doing that, you kind of have to follow the geography, follow the path, and there's so many like hidden nooks and crannies, little
things
areas.
to pick up, just things to pick up, even that you just wouldn't get because you're too busy zooming.
Yeah. Or there's TMs. I've found like whole caves that I didn't know existed with high level Pokemon in it, or some of the the wild Terra Pokemon. So it's been a really interesting way to explore in an attempt to earn these bloody marks, to try and do as many steps as possible. in between area 1 and area 2. And sometimes, we're like, okay, I have to go from one side of the map to the other side of the map. And that's just a whole, a pleasant little commute, essentially. And inevitably, I think we discussed in the early game, you're like, oh, what's there? Oh, what's that? What's around that corner? And then you find yourself completely off map, completely off mission.
Yeah.
In some beautiful little cove that you'd never seen before.
And just because you're exploring, and that's cool. That sort of stuff is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and because there wasn't enough. I think this is one of the complaints we had after we had hands on for a while. Is there's not really enough to justify exploring the map once you've kind of filled out your Pokédex, got all the upgrades to your bike, beaten all the Titans, done all the team start. There's no reason to visit vast swathes of the map, short of buzzing from raid to raid. So yeah, it's like I say, breathed a new lease of life, not only in Scarlet and Violet, but I'm going back to Legends Arceus to pick things up. There are people in BDSP, things in BDSP can get, even Sword and Shield, because that's where all the money and the items are. And have a spreadsheet of joy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And so I'm not gonna make you rate Pokemon Home.
No, that's fine. I mean, there's also at the current time, there's a fuckload of problems wrong with that game.
Yeah.
Pokemon in general, but we're just not going to talk about it.
Yeah. But you've got your spreadsheet. So how many spreadsheet cells would you give it out of rows and columns?
I'd give it like EF, right? So we've gone all the way through the alphabet, and then we're starting again, and we've got up to E, EA, EB, EZ, ED, EF.
ZZ is end. Come on.
ZZ is end, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll give it EF. Out of, well, I don't know, what was that out of?
118.
118.
Or so. Yeah, 118. EF at 118.
EF out of 118.
The clearest scoring system ever.
Apologies to that guy's wiki guy, because that's another score to factor in.
Cool. Okay, Farley.
Yes.
That guy's a maniac.
I'm gonna sort these cards out now.